Hey there, John and I were just finishing up our weekly office hours for our group coaching community, and we wanted to take a moment to say hi and introduce ourselves. My name is Mark Albert. I spent 25 years on air in journalism, including at CBS News and leading a national investigative unit at Hearst Television. John?
My name's John Bates, and I work with top leaders all over the world to make all of their communication TED-worthy. And I've been doing that for about 15 years, work with NASA and Johnson & Johnson and Boston Scientific, and I pinch myself.
John's really humble. He's gotten a call from the space station. Okay, folks, how many of you got a call from the space? It was one of the coolest moments, John, you've ever told me about. It was amazing.
It was an amazing moment
Yeah.
for me too.
So listen, John and I have paired up. We're partnering to help people just like you channel their message, determine their expertise, so they can deliver it super effectively, either on stage or in the news media. And you know, John, I'm fond of saying to everybody that the real information, the real piece that you want to capture when you're an expert is called earned media. This might be a new term for you, I know, but what it is essentially is media you cannot buy. You can't buy a quote in an article on A1 front page of the New York Times, and you can't buy your way into a story like the ones I used to do leading off of CBS Evening News. Instead, it's media you have to earn through the value of your expertise. That's it. Otherwise, it's paid media, owned media, sponsored media. Earned media is the coin of the realm, right, John?
And the thing I love that you say all the time, Mark, because it's kind of similar to getting invited to speak on the TED or the TEDx stage, you can't buy that. And as an expert, you can get that with your expertise. Like that's how you earn that media. And what I didn't really think about that you point out, Mark, is that journalists all over the country, all over the world really, are looking for experts every single day. So if you can be good on camera and you can create good sound bites and you've got a good underlying message and can give a context around your expertise, you can earn media that you couldn't buy. And that is really powerful.
You know, I used to flip through my Rolodex all the time looking for experts, really on short notice. I mean, 4 or 5 hours, right? Because news breaks, you need to find an expert. And nowadays, what I hear most, John, and I know you hear this as well, people contact us and they say, I am so furious.
Yeah.
I just saw somebody from my industry and they're being quoted on the news. Don't those journalists know that that person doesn't know as much as I do? That
Yeah.
I know more about my industry than they do? They're super frustrated that journalists aren't calling them.
Well, and I get the same thing with speakers, right? Oh my gosh, my competitor just gave a TEDx talk, or my competitor was just invited to speak at this conference, and then they raised their round, and we're still struggling to raise our round. Our technology is way better than theirs. Okay, well, you got to get out there and tell people about it. You can't just think about giving that talk or think about getting on TV with it. You got to go do it if or your competitors will.
Yeah, John, and you have so much experience helping people get on stage and coaching them through those TED Talks. And of course, now together we are coaching people on how to do their expertise. And so for you, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I'm just going to hire a PR firm, or I'll just hire a speakers bureau, and they're going to get all this done for me. But John and I really have this reality check for you. It's a really, really hard truth. You might not even want to hear it, but here's the truth. So if you hire a big PR firm for a bunch of money, they're going to make you do the same things that we do, but for a lot more. So for example, you still need to craft a message. You still have to hone down your expertise. You still have to build a powerful soundbite. You still have to figure out body language, voice, intonation, what to wear, what to do, where are your hands going. All of this stuff that we teach, a lot of these PR firms dress that up and they're going to charge you a lot more. And here's the bottom line. Some of those PR firms you're going to hire, they're just going to come to me. In fact, I've had PR firms that have me on retainer. They bring me, sorry to say, their problem children. People, they've got clients, the client wants to get all over the news, and those PR firms can't get it done for them. This happened just a couple of months ago with a PR firm. They brought me a high-ranking executive at a Fortune 500 firm, and this person wanted to be on a very specific news outlet with this very specific story. And you know what? The PR firm couldn't get it done. And instead, they brought it to me. I revamped their message, wrote a very specific pitch, told them who to go to, what the expertise was. 2 hours later, John, 2 hours later, that major news outlet, one of the most famous in the world, called, and that executive was in that outlet 5 days later.
That's right. And it's a similar thing with me. Like that's who I usually work with is that person on the executive team who's not the good speaker and everybody else is really good. And then they come to me with this person and, I'll work with them and get them up to snuff. And then what often happens is that the person who was not the best speaker on the team becomes so good that the rest of the team wants to work with me too. So I think people can just, shortcut those things and jump in with us, Mark. I really have to say I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of people, done a lot of things all around the world for the last 15 plus years doing this. And I have genuinely never been more excited to work with someone than I am to work with you because I just think that what we bring to real serious thought leaders and top executives and people who've got a message and need to get that message out and want to be more visible. It's like, you got your chocolate in my peanut butter, you got your peanut butter on my chocolate. Like it's just such a great combination.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, John. And I feel the same way. And listen, we know that you probably have a lot of different places you can go. But if you want to take out the guesswork, you want to stop wasting your time, you don't want to beat around the bush, you want actual results, and you don't want another day to go by where you're so angry seeing someone else stealing your limelight and that you're not getting the call for your expertise that you should. Let's get your goals done together. Let's get that done faster. Let's take this moment to get you that coverage, those speaking gigs that you know you deserve, and that the audience wants to hear from you about your expertise. We want to work with you.
And Mark, it reminds me of when I was in Finland. It's another harsh truth. In Finland, they love to say we've got the best products in the world, but no one knows because we're not very good at marketing them. And I said to them, you guys, you're ripping off the whole world then. If you've got the best product and you don't go out and tell people about it, that's actually not only hurting you and your business, that's screwing the whole rest of the world. So you've got expertise. And if you are not out there sharing that expertise and making a difference, well, stop ripping off the world. Like it's time to go with that.
So let's work together. We hope to hear from you, and we'll see you soon on one of our coaching calls.